Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kassandra, and today I'm going to take you through a 10-minute morning yoga stretch that is also really good to build upper body strength, really focusing on our arms. This happens to be day 17 of the 30-day morning yoga movement challenge. If you are not already doing this challenge with me, it's not too late. You can just click the link down below in the description box to sign up, or go ahead and watch the day 0 video to get all of the inside scoop. Otherwise, if you've already been on this journey and you're here for day 17, we're just going to get started right into it. No props required for our practice today. And we're going to start sitting. You can either do cross-legged. I think I'm going to start kneeling, actually. It might just be a little bit easier. And we are focusing on upper body quite a bit. But before we do that, just roll your shoulders back, close your eyes, and take a few cleansing breaths. So for each of our morning yoga classes, we use an affirmation to help set the tone for the day. And our affirmation today is, I allow abundance into my life. I allow abundance into my life. And you can just repeat this to yourself a few times as we flow together and also throughout the day. And now go ahead and reach your arms all the way up and keep your palms facing up, fingertips spreading wide. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. All you're going to do is open and close your hands as fast as you possibly can. So at first it might not feel like much, but guarantee in just a few seconds, you'll probably start to feel it burn through your forearms and into your wrists. But this is really great to do regularly, especially if you find it hard to hold plank poses and downward dogs. So just keep going a little faster. And release, shake it out. Open up your arms to the sides, bring your thumbs in, forefingers out, and bend your elbows a little bit. And it's just like you're pouring pitchers out to the sides. So stretching into the thumb and into the forearms. Take one more. And release, go ahead and stretch that out. Now bring your arms out in front of you, spread the palms, and then turn them so they're facing down and just curl it into fists. And you can make little half moon circles, side to side, stretching through the forearms. And one last thing here, go ahead and open up your arms, a little cactus shape, and you're just going to trace some circles with your elbows. And you can make this pretty fast here. Just rolling it in, starting to build up some heat through your shoulders. Go the opposite direction. Trying not to move your hands too much, just working on shoulders. And let's release. Tabletop pose on hands and knees. Now, instead of having tabletop with our palms directly underneath the shoulders, we're gonna walk the palms forward. And now realign yourself so your shoulders are over the tops of your wrists, and you're gonna tuck your toes under. Firm up the belly, so strong through your core, and just lift your knees an inch or two off the mat. So really not lifting up high here. This is your hovering tabletop pose. And now inhale all the way forward into plank, straight legs. Back to your hovering tabletop pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment here in down dog to stretch it out. And let's come back, hovering tabletop pose. Inhale to plank. Hover it back, downward facing dog. One full breath in here. And last time, hovering table, straight into plank. Back to hover. Downward facing dog, and go ahead and settle in this down dog. I allow abundance into my life. So make sure you have your feet just a little bit wider than hip width distance apart, and we're gonna come back into that plank pose all the way. Extra challenge, see if you can bring your right hand to your heart, and now roll into your side plank pose. Drop the heels to the left, push into your left hand, and maybe your right arm extends up to the sky. Big, full, deep breath here into your side plank pose on your form. Right forearm down to the floor. Roll to the other side, heels drop down to the right, left arm up to the sky. Really push your feet into the floor to pick up the hips even higher. Inhale here. And form plank, left forearm down. Lift the back of your head up into your Sphinx pose. Drop the hips, open up through your chest. And just feel into this heat that you've started to build up through your shoulders and through your arms and your upper body as a whole. And we'll take 3 little baby cobras. So let yourself come all the way down. And you can slide your hands a little bit further back so they're towards the top of the rib cage. Push into your feet. Inhale, upper body as well as hands come off the floor. Exhale to lower down. 2 more like this. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale to lower. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Interlace your hands behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Locust pose. Lift the legs. Lift the chest. Back of the neck stays long. Big inhale here. And let's release. Find a child's pose. Keep it an easy child's pose so your knees pretty close together. Arms going back so that you can give your shoulders a bit of a break before we find that flow on the second side. So relaxing your arms. And let's go ahead and find downward facing dog. Again, you can go a little bit wider with your feet here, just because we will be transitioning into side planks. So maybe the feet go a little wider than your hips. And now let's move forward into plank pose. This time you're going to bring your left hand to your heart. Drop both heels to the right. Push your feet into the floor to lift the pelvis up a little higher. And maybe the left arm extends up to the sky. Try to firm up through your right hand, staying really steady here. And we'll go into our side forearm plank to the left. So left forearm comes down and let your heels drop to the other direction. Push into the mat to lift on up. Hug the navel back. Shaking is totally normal. Forearm plank, right hand down. Find a little lift here as you hug your elbows together and drop into your Sphinx pose. One last time, open up. Roll your shoulders back. And let's lower down. 3 baby cobras, just like what we did before. Inhale, rise. And exhale to lower. Twice more. Inhale. Squeeze and lift. Release it down. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace your hands the more unusual way. Other thumb on top. Locust pose. Back of the neck is long. Stay with your intention for this practice and for the day ahead. I allow abundance into my life. And let's release, pressing back, child's pose again. Toes together, knees apart. Relax your arms down. And we'll take one last arm strengthening pose, an upper body strengthening pose before we start to close our practice together. Coming into dolphin. So very similar to down dog, except you're on your forearms instead of being on your hands. So bring your forearms down on the mat, and you want to be able to really hold and hug onto the biceps. So your elbows are not quite as wide as your shoulders. Once you have that, tuck the toes under and go ahead and lift your hips up. You might need to walk your feet in a little closer. Think of pushing your chest towards your thighs and keeping the crown of your head lifted off of the floor. Notice if you're rolling onto your little fingers, push down into your thumbs. You got this. 3 more breaths. And let's bring the knees down to the floor. Bring your legs out in front of you and lower all the way down onto your back. We'll finish with a Lang spinal twist before we close our practice. Open up your arms to the sides into a little cactus shape. Your hips can move to the right before both knees drop over to the left. And you can keep one thigh over the other. You can always wrap your right leg over top to intensify this. And engage your belly to float the knees all the way back up through to center. And we'll go to the other side. So your hips might need to go to the left a little bit before both legs drop down to the right. And really anchor your left shoulder blade to the floor. No tension in your arms. And let's come all the way back through to center. Take a great big stretch. As if you were just waking up in the morning, fingers reaching away from your toes. And roll to one side. Push your hands into the floor to help yourself come up, taking a seat. Close your eyes once you get comfortable here. And just notice the effects of your practice on your arms, your shoulders, your upper body as a whole. Join your hands together at the front of your heart, connecting to this affirmation, your intention today. I allow abundance into my life. Big breath in through the nose and out your mouth. Bowing forward, namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for doing this morning yoga practice. I hope you feel really strong and opened up through your arms, your shoulders, your upper back. Leave me a comment down below. You can use the hashtag #GoodMorning so I know that you're part of the morning yoga movement, and I'll practice again with you tomorrow morning. You are not done yet. I would love for you to click on this video right here to do a 5-minute guided affirmation meditation. Also, click the link down below right here in order to be notified of every new video that I release, part of this morning yoga movement. Thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow.